Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. The Key to Study Skills by Lev Goldenouch is a practical, strategy-driven guide for students and self-learners who want better results in less time. Positioned within the Key to Study Accelerated Learning series, the book focuses on 3 high-impact areas that determine most academic performance: reading efficiency, memory retention, and sustained concentration. Rather than treating studying as a vague talent, it frames it as a set of learnable behaviors that can be practiced, measured, and improved. The emphasis is on simple, repeatable methods such as planning study sessions, actively processing material, and reviewing in ways that make information stick. It also highlights common mistakes that waste hours, like passive rereading, multitasking, and cramming without a system. Readers can expect actionable routines. They can apply immediately to textbooks, lectures, online courses, and professional certifications, with a mindset that prioritizes consistency, clarity, and deliberate practice over sheer effort. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, reading faster with purpose and comprehension. A core theme of the book is that reading speed only matters when comprehension rises with it. It encourages shifting from passive page turning to purposeful reading, where you know what you are looking for before you begin. This typically starts with previewing the structure of a chapter or article, identifying headings, summaries, and key definitions, then setting a clear goal such as extracting main arguments, building a concept map, or answering specific questions. The book emphasizes techniques that reduce wasted effort, including minimizing subvocalization, widening your visual span, and using a steady pacing method to keep attention from drifting. Just as important is learning when to slow down. Difficult proofs, new terminology, and complex diagrams require deliberate processing. The approach also promotes active engagement while reading, such as annotating sparingly, writing short margin prompts, and pausing to restate a concept in your own words. By combining preview, targeted reading, and quick self-checks, the reader can increase throughput while protecting understanding. The practical outcome is a reading workflow that is adaptable to dense textbooks, lighter articles, and exam-focused materials, making study time more predictable and less exhausting. Secondly, memory systems that turn information into recall. The book treats memory as a process you can engineer rather than a fixed trait. Instead of relying on repetition alone, it stresses encoding strategies that make information meaningful, organized, and retrievable. One major idea is to transform what you study into structured cues, categories, hierarchies, and associations that your brain can quickly access during tests or real-world use. It supports creating memory hooks through visualization, storytelling, and linking new material to familiar knowledge, so facts are not stored as isolated fragments. Another important focus is the difference between recognition and recall. Passive review may feel productive because material looks familiar, but it does not guarantee you can reproduce it. To close that gap, the book pushes self-testing and active recall methods like practice questions, closed-book summaries, and teaching the concept aloud. It also highlights timing, spacing, and periodic review protect against forgetting far better than last-minute cramming. The overall message is to design study sessions around retrieval practice and meaningful encoding, so the same hours produce stronger long-term retention. Applied consistently, these methods help students remember key terms, formulas, and frameworks with less stress and fewer total review cycles. Thirdly, focus training and distraction control. A major barrier to efficient studying is not intelligence, but fragmented attention. The book addresses focus as a skill supported by environment design, habit control, and realistic session planning. It encourages readers to identify their most common distractors, such as phone notifications, open tabs, noisy spaces, and unplanned interruptions, then build a study setup that reduces temptation before willpower is required. It promotes time-boxed work blocks with short breaks, creating urgency and a clear finish line that makes concentration easier to sustain. Another component is mental priming, beginning sessions with a quick plan, a single measurable goal, and an easy first action to overcome resistance. The book also warns against multitasking, explaining how task switching creates hidden costs in lost momentum and shallow processing. To maintain intensity, it suggests varying the type of activity within a session, for example, alternating reading with problem solving or recall drills, so the brain stays engaged. Over time, these routines help readers extend their ability to concentrate without burnout. The result is a calmer study experience where attention is protected, progress is visible, and long sessions are replaced by shorter, higher-quality work that accumulates into strong performance. Fourthly, strategic note-taking and active learning routines. The book emphasizes that notes should be tools for thinking, not transcripts. Effective note-taking, in this framework, is selective and structured, capturing only what supports understanding and future recall. It encourages turning content into questions, prompts, and outlines that you can use for self-testing later, rather than copying paragraphs that you will never revisit. For lectures and videos, the approach favors listening for organizing principles, definitions, cause and effect links, steps in a process, and examples that clarify tricky points. For textbooks, it suggests extracting core concepts and compressing them into summaries that preserve meaning with fewer words. The book also underscores the importance of immediate processing. Reviewing notes shortly after a session, filling gaps, and rewriting confusing parts into simpler language can dramatically improve retention compared to leaving notes untouched. Another routine is to connect new notes to previous material, building a coherent network instead of separate chapters. This can be done through concept maps, brief synthesis pages, or checklists of recurring themes. The overall aim is active learning, a cycle of capture, clarify, compress, and test. With this system, notes become a study engine that reduces last-minute panic and makes review sessions fast and focused. Lastly, planning, consistency, and exam-ready execution. Beyond individual techniques, the book highlights the importance of a simple system that turns good intentions into consistent output. It encourages planning at multiple levels, a weekly overview of priorities, daily session goals, and a review schedule that prevents forgetting. Rather than studying whatever feels urgent, readers are guided to allocate time based on difficulty and exam weight, ensuring that high-value topics receive repeated practice. The approach promotes measurable tasks like completing a set of problems, producing a one-page summary, or finishing a timed recall quiz, because measurable work reduces procrastination and clarifies progress. It also stresses feedback loops, checking performance through practice tests, analyzing errors, and adjusting the next sessions to target weak areas. When deadlines approach, the system shifts toward consolidation, using cumulative retrieval practice and mixed topic review to improve flexible recall. The book further points to energy management, suggesting that sleep, breaks, and realistic workload planning affect learning as much as technique does. In combination, these planning habits help readers avoid cramming, reduce anxiety, and build confidence through repeated evidence of improvement. The practical promise is an exam-ready process that is repeatable for any subject, course, or professional certification. In conclusion, this book is best suited for high school and college students, adult learners returning to education, and professionals preparing for certification exams who want practical improvements without academic jargon. Readers who feel stuck in long study hours with mediocre results will benefit most, because the book targets the common bottlenecks of slow reading, weak recall, and inconsistent focus. Its value to daily life goes beyond grades. The same skills improve workplace learning, meeting preparation, and the ability to absorb complex information quickly and confidently. By emphasizing active recall, structured review, and distraction control, it helps reduce stress and builds a sense of control over deadlines and difficult material. Compared to many study guides that lean heavily on theory or overwhelm readers with dozens of techniques, this book concentrates on straightforward, repeatable strategies that can be implemented immediately and combined into a simple routine. That practicality makes it worth buying for readers who want a compact playbook rather than a long academic treatise. If you are looking for a clear system you can apply to textbooks, lectures, and online learning with minimal setup, it offers a focused path to higher performance with less wasted effort. If you would like to support Lev Goldenouch, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.